What's going on, Jennifer Lacey?
Hi.
Good morning. Look, we got a model. Oh, there he is. There he is. DJ Hootie Hoot. What's up, Big Daddy?
Yo, what's up, Jess, man?
Oh,
I like your
man,
jersey,
having
bro.
fun. What do y'all think about the
Whoa.
uniform, baby?
I think mine's
Oh.
better here.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hey, you really should put like some shorts or pants on. We don't want to see your drawers.
Oh no, could you see that far down? Shit. Did you see my fishnets, Jess?
I did. I saw the fishnets. What's going on, people? Look, we got Buddy Brumley saying happy 2023.
Yes.
Let's go. Yeah, man. Happy 2023, buddy. And everyone else in the Omniverse. Welcome to the year, or thank you for letting us in on your year. We got people starting to pop in. How are you doing this year, Jennifer Lacey?
I'm doing good. I hit the ground running, and this week has been kind of getting back in the groove of things. And so I got a lot in front of me. So I'm super excited.
Nice. Oh yeah, look, we got people popping in. They're popping in.
Boop, boop, boop.
There he is, Mr. Jim Gontorius. What's going on, Jim? How you doing, my brother? Oh yeah, they're all coming in. Miss Leslie. Oh man, she's like super.
She is like solid.
Started, came in. Thank you. Oh, have you been seeing her videos that she's posting?
Yes.
Super awesome. I love it, Leslie. Keep them coming, girl.
She was the first one to put together a video and send it over to. I might just add that little that point.
Oh, for the
the compilation last time. Yeah.
The allergy session.
Yes.
Which, oh, by the way, it's been 1 year now. Congratulations, you two. Holy moly.
1 year since Jen wrote me the letters.
I did not write the letters.
1 year since she's been accused of writing the letters.
So is it like, well, it can't be to the date. It's like within the week,
It's
right?
the first Saturday of January last year is when we launched our first NoBS with Jen and Jess live stream. And it has been a year. And for whatever reason, somehow you haven't run me off. You haven't pissed me off. And we're still showing up.
Well, I don't know if I haven't pissed you off.
Yeah.
I think I have.
Not enough to leave. How about that? You haven't pissed me off, not enough to leave.
So it's a year. Like, yeah, it's 25% as long as my longest marriage.
We're going to take that as a win.
But don't leave Bruce hanging.
Some love to the people out there, to the NoBS tribe. We got Bruce. What up, Mr. Bruce? And then Hoots. You know what's striking me, Jen? Is
Please.
Like Adam usually comes across or presents himself as like very humble. But all of a sudden, like that little monster for fame is growing. Like he's on the screen and he's saying what's up. He wants a shout out.
You know, I am an audio author mogul, right? Yes.
That would be true.
What are you talking about, audio author? What's that? I've never heard of that.
Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming.
10-4. Well, you know what? On that note, Ian, are you out there, Ian? I'm not sure if you're there, but yesterday on the pop-up you asked about Morgan Freeman. And we thought about it. We're like, man, why are we gonna go low bar? Like, let's go high bar. And so Mr. Buddy Brumley is gonna be reading the intro, the opening, and the closing to our audiobook, the Lean in Love audiobook. And Jen, me, and Adam, you'll be hearing our voices if you want to. There's Buddy. Yeah, man, that's going to be the voice, the ultimate celebrity voice actor. Remember, y'all, we got to add that to like our LinkedIn profile, voice actor.
Ooh. Well, we're already authors, but now Adam can add that.
Damn. So y'all keep an eye out for that. Let's show some more love. Dr. M, what's going on, Dr. M? Fabulous year ahead. Stay blessed. Yep, you got to the year before the rest of us did. Right? He's in the future all the time. Mr. Justin, what up, brother?
Good morning.
Oh, look, we got Christine coming in from YouTube land. because on LinkedIn yesterday on the deal, she was the unknown user.
Okay.
So that mystery has been solved. Mr. Bradley again coming in from Hey,
welcome
aren't you
back.
gonna be in Vegas pretty soon, Adam?
I'll be there next week. That's right.
Boom.
Jesse and I will be there in March.
All in.
Oh yeah, March.
Vegas is
We're
fun.
presenting. Yes.
I had to bring my wife with me to Vegas, though. I don't know about going to Vegas solo.
Oh, why don't you should come with me and Jesse. I'm sure it'll be fun.
No, I'm good. I take my wife to Las Vegas with me.
Oh yeah. All right. So
I may leave Jesse there. I'm just gonna say.
Would never get him back.
Vegas isn't well, we'll not talk about. I've had wilder times in New Orleans than I have in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like
New Orleans is
You
fun.
prepare. You prep for it going to Vegas, so you're like a little more guarded. I feel like you show up in these other places and it's like, oh, it's fine, and it's like, oh, I didn't realize we were going there. So yeah.
It's not as exciting.
That's the best business decision you've made all day, is to not talk about Vegas, Jeff.
That's right. Don't talk
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I don't really have like good stories. I got great stories from other places. Well, maybe, you know what? I need to make a great story this year.
Amen. That's how you do it. I love that goal, man. I love it.
That's my birthday. That's my birthday week too. So we can have a party.
So Adam mentioned the word goal. Why is that even? Why'd that come out of your mouth, Adam?
I think that's what we're here to talk about today. That's what Jen sent me, this long prepared agenda that was like notarized and transcribed for me. And that word was on there a few times.
Goal. Okay.
Well, I don't know where you got that from.
I mean, it was just the World Cup here recently, and I heard him yell that word quite a bit.
Goal! Yeah, man. So we are going to talk about goals, and I'm just going to put my piece out there, Tribe, because I need y'all's help. I appreciate goals, and Adam was like just reveling in the fact that there's no way that I can contribute to the degree that I do without having goals. But for some reason, there's something about the word, the concept, the way people use it that bugs me. And I'm not here to like argue and say that my view is it. I'm looking for help to like get a better understanding of what my thinking is. So y'all need to be prepared, because this conversation, we were doing a little warm up and we're kind of a little bit all over the place. So absolutely, your experience, your thoughts about goals, bring them to help me gain some clarity. And like ultimately, whatever our feeling is about goals, let's figure out how to support each other in contributing in deeper manners this year and connecting and building deeper relationships, building deeper vulnerability and courage within the tribe and the world at large. Let's figure out how to do that together, and we'll call it a goal. So didn't we have another announcement, Jen?
Well, we have things in the works, but I think you were going to announce something pretty big, right?
Yeah. So the Emotional Bungee Jumpers group community, exclusive, let me be clear, exclusive community has been, it's in development. I'll say that, right? Because I think I broke the social media, the social element of it, but I'm working through that right now. And so what it is, we've had several conversations all last year, and a few times individuals, some of the tribe members commented or communicated that they're concerned about sharing stuff, right? There's like a bar that they don't pass because all the stuff that we share is like available to the world. And so we've been kicking that around. There's been some conversations about us having video calls. There's also like this new Lean in Love reflection journal, right? Just a lot of opportunities. So we're thinking about how can we create something that's exclusive and safe for people, for the tribe to come in and grow those deeper connections and look for support actively throughout, between sessions and so forth. So we're creating the Emotional Bungee Jumpers. And it's almost, it's like live, but it's not ready to walk yet, right? Like it hasn't opened its eyes
It's
yet,
been born.
right? It's been born. It's been birthed. So folks, y'all see the little thing, the little banner down there with the cool happy face sunglass guy. Um, if you want, if you're interested in being or joining, signing up for the Emotional Bungee Jumper membership, drop the cool guy face in the chat and I'll send you a link to it. And just to be clear, y'all, it's not free. There's a fee, $50 per quarter from now until March. It's $50 a quarter, and you're going to get 3 reflection journals. We'll be mailing those out to you every quarter, and then all the other fun stuff. We'll have the video call, we'll have the chat, we'll have some challenges in the thing once I figure out how to get it like working. Anyhow, so that's it, y'all. If you're interested and you want information on it, drop the cool face in there and I'll send you a link like later on today, so that way you can tinker around with it. But keep that in mind. I'm excited for it because I've been obsessing about it. I was up pretty late last night trying to figure out how to do it on the like website-y stuff because I'm a website guru.
Wasn't it a goal, Jesse, that you had that you needed to get this done?
What the what? But you know what? As we kick the conversation off about goals, I want to know. Actually, Adam posed this beautiful question from the tribe members out there in the Omniverse. What are you most proud of from last year? And since Adam, you dropped the question, how about you start answering it?
For the record, I just want to make sure the whole entire world knows that people just want to matter.
Oh my gosh.
Man, that is deep. How'd you come up with that?
A little birdie, a little
My
blonde birdie.
coattails. That's all he does is he ride my coattails.
Oh yeah, I do. That's the best place in the world to be, Miss Jen. Boom, 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 boom. So the fabulous question that Jen and myself proposed to the team was, what are you most proud of from the last year? You want me to answer that, Jesse?
I do want you to answer. I think the tribe wants to know.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows that I started school last year. I think that was a pretty big and huge accomplishment. I think wasn't something easy to do, especially with just, again, being a minority in that from both an age and ethnicity perspective. It's a new world and not something I'm super used to. So I'm enjoying it, and I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of from this past year, Jess.
10-4. That's a good one.
How
Jen?
about you, man? What are you most proud
Goodness.
of, Jennifer?
I can't stand y'all, but anyway.
You asked the question.
For me, it's work related. So going into last year, big goal for mine was measuring lean implementation. And I know that's kind of like, what do you mean? And we talk about it a lot. What companies are implementing it? How are you implementing it? You know, the degrees of implementation and stuff like that. But there's not a lot of metrics on specific tools, culture, things like that. And so that was a goal of mine going into last year across our company, every project, you know, making commitments and then going through and doing monthly assessments. And, you know, me being able to take some of those metrics and kind of look at them and dig into them and what do they mean and how does that help me do my job better? And I feel like that is something that I did accomplish last year, but now it gives me a whole lot more things to focus on. So I'm super excited about that.
Nice. Look,
I love that a
agree.
lot. You also got to brag about it at LCI in New Orleans. And so good on you for doing that, huh?
Weren't you bragging about it this week too, Jen?
We are. So one, we presented in at LCI Congress. Christina and I did, and it got in one of the top 5 presentations. And it was us just sharing our journey and the fails and the mishaps and the things that people kind of sometimes focus on when it comes to metrics and maybe it's not the right thing. So we kind of got to share that journey. And then from that presentation, we got asked by the COP in Northern California if we would share it virtually. So Wednesday evening, Christina and I are sharing that with their community. Yes.
Love it. Love it. And so Buddy's got a question for you, Adam. Do we get to hear about Professor Adam?
Well, see, buddy, that's a goal for this year. So I've already got my goal set and accomplished for this year, my man. So yes, that is. I'm pretty excited to announce to everybody. I'm going to be teaching construction scheduling at Clemson for the undergrad class this year in the spring. So looking forward. If you let me know, I'm all about collecting some information. If you think the kids should be coming out of school learning something, you let me know. Reach out to me, please. Help me here.
And
Boom.
you even mentioned you're going to have some guest speakers come in and talk to your class too, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm going to reach out to you, Mr. Felipe, Mr. Schroeder. I've already been courting you two to come talk to us about Scrum and TAC. Heck yeah.
Boom. Delivering the value, baby. Let's give some love. We got a bunch of people, man. It's a new year.
Backing up.
So we got Miss Yesenia saying, good morning. Happy New Year's. Yesenia. You know what? I don't think I've met her in person yet.
Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah, we got to do that. Come on, man. Let's see who else we got. Oh, Maria Martin's quoting Adam. Do you have a copyright on that People Just Want to Matter thing?
I don't. I usually give my stuff out for free. I love for people to take and use it and spread it everywhere and not ever give me credit because that's what lean builders do.
10-4. I love it, man. We got my buddy Vincent Trevino here in the Deuce Dime. What's up, Vincent?
Hello.
Oh man, that dude's awesome. I got to work with him.
Well, so you missed. So there's some like Hal's back. We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Author, what's up, Hal?
What was the other one? Joe Donnarumo's on.
Who's
that?
that?
That one. Joe Donnarumo is on.
I know that guy.
Who's Joe? Good morning from Fort. What up, Joe? Oh, you know what? Unacceptable violation.
What?
That profile pic needs to be the fat cardboard.
Oh, yes.
Come on, Joe. Come on, dog. Like, why are you hiding, baby? You need to change that profile. Put that. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all gotta check it out. There's this big, giant, blown up face of Joe. Speaking of goals, that's my goal this year.
To get that face.
To get a big fat cardboard face all over.
Why do you want Joe's face? I'm confused here. Wait a minute. Huh? You said you wanted to get a big old fat head of Joe Donnarumo?
No, not of Joe, of me.
Oh, I got you. So that's a goal of yours?
That's a goal, yeah. That's my goal.
Well, Jesse, what are you most proud of from last year?
Oh, I am proud to give a shout out to LinkedIn user Tanya. She says, thanks for the sneak peek on the audiobook. Yes, we have been getting sneak peeks to folks so we could get some feedback about. I mean, obviously, I have an amazing speaking voice, but I wanted to make sure that Adam and Jen weren't going to like cause people to lose their hearing and stuff. And so far,
or overshadow you.
Or overshadow me, exactly.
Hey, so Jess, for some reason, Joe said you can borrow the fat head, man. Look, he's got it in the garage, so we'll be looking out for it, Joe.
10-4. I like it. Now, you know, the thing I'm most proud of, and I'm just gonna say, like, it's almost a shameful pride because it's all about me. But the thing I'm most proud of is launching my business. Right. And maybe there's an underlying thing behind that of really going on, like doubling down on myself. So what I mean by that is I launched a business, consulting business, and it was scary because like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I believed I could deliver value. I believed I could help people. I believed I could transfer knowledge. And me starting my business, it's kind of a weird thing, but to me is a signal of self-advocacy, right? For me to start the business is me saying, hey, stupid, you really can do this. Stop playing small, stop hiding. So that's one. The other, now in conjunction with that, before I went independent, I made a commitment to myself to develop a new practice of self-care. And so I committed to myself that every month I would take 2 to 3 days. Well, no, take that back. 3 to 4 days off every month and change, get out of my normal environment and go experience something new and do something different. And I've achieved that. Like that's a huge one. And so maybe the better way to wrap it all up is my investment in appreciating myself, like not my hair, because I've always been appreciating my hair, baby, but like me as a being, as a spirit. I killed it this year. I smoked it, and I'm super proud of that.
Hell yeah, you did, and you should be proud of that. That's free, dude. You are on fire.
I'm on
So that's a
fire.
great transition because now we're 20 minutes in and we probably should talk about the things we're here to talk about today, goals. So that's a train. So Jesse, going back to what you're proud of from last year, was that a goal to self-advocate?
No, the goal was not to self-advocate. I just came up with that word right now in the moment. Like I'm just a natural philosopher. I used to be in a jazz band, so I think that's how I get there. Uh, the goal for me was to develop a practice of self-care, a practice of restorative habits. That was one of the big goals. The business. So here's the thing, right? I'm gonna start muddying the water, y'all. So hang in there. The business, like for me to develop the habits, the restorative habits, that was a profound goal because I don't know how to do it. I wasn't sure that I could do it. And it was going to take a lot for me to figure it out and like build the system that facilitates the sustainability of that behavior. Starting a business doesn't fit the same. It's not like to me, that's button pushing. You make a decision, you do what the hell you need to do, you get it done. So starting the business doesn't fall in the gold bucket for me. I don't know if that helps at all, but maybe that's kind of the ambiguity or the splinter in my head that I'm struggling with, because I think conventionally starting my business would qualify as a goal, but it doesn't feel like a goal to me so as much as building a practice of honoring myself and investing in self-care does.
And so we've talked, the three of us, a lot about the word goal and kind of how it sits. And so, Adam, I want to kind of pose this to you, and thank you for being here on the screen with us today. Is like we've talked about goals, and not that Jesse and I are aligned on how we view them, but we also kind of struggle with the word on just what that means and how we apply it. So for you, when you hear the word goal, or hey, I set a goal, or even you can tell us a goal you have for this year, like what does that mean? Like, you know, when we set a goal, what does that mean to you?
So I should have known I was going to get all these questions. If I'd have known this, I wouldn't have showed up. My goodness. So I think it's hilarious because I have this problem or this issue with the word culture, right? And you're like culture, and it's like, but I've come to find out like this word goal. I know, Jesse, it bothers you, and Jen, I think it's like kind of bothers you as well. And what's hilarious is I think it bothers us for the same exact reason. For me, the word culture is like, that's this outcome. That's this thing that's at the end and we get to experience it. But I don't really care about that because the steps that I'm going to do that lead up to that thing that make culture is, you know, treating people with respect, going above and beyond, like looking out for people, using your emotional intelligence, like all of these little things are what I do to make sure that that outcome or that overall culture is positive on a job, but I never worry about the culture. And I feel like it's a similar view, again, just listening to what y'all are saying, call it anti-goal, call it not anti-goal, whatever you want to say. It's like you guys both have this idea of the word goal being the end or like the outcome of the situation. And you have a tough time focusing on that because you know the goal might be to score a touchdown, but the intermediate goal is I just got to get a first down. I just need 10 yards. I don't need 100 yards. I need 10 yards. And then the other, like even more intermediate goal to that, what I was talking about before we started the live was my football coaches used to tell us, you need 3 yards. If you got 3 yards on every single play, you win a football game. And so that's like the goal broken down even more minute. And so I think, again, from my perspective, I'm going to start using the word goal all the time now. And I'm really, really excited about that. But I think it's a similar outcome. I don't know. What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about just this goal being an outcome versus goals can change and goals can have kind of modifications and movement to them?
Well, I'm going to say my struggle. I'm not even going to address the goals piece. I like the culture conversation one because I love saying that.
Of course.
But what I have experienced is when it's really easy to go, we're going to create a positive culture. We want a culture of inclusion. We want to create this wonderful, amazing place that people are all going to get along and we're all going to make good commitments. Like those are big end goals or outcomes and things like that. And that can be what they keep referring back to. Who they is, whoever they is, it's the leadership or, the project teams or, whatever those are. It's like, it's easy to go, that's our goal. That's where we want to be. But we somehow miss those small conversations, those incremental conversations on how the hell are we going to do it? And so I think for me, and I'm not saying it's not a goal, but like, okay, we can say the end result needs to be this, but like, are we having the conversation with the people that are there that are going to be a part of it? And do they get to contribute? Do they get to have a part of the conversation that says, hey, together, this step, we're going to make sure that we create the right environment to where everyone can speak something if they're not okay with it? Are we going to create an environment to where we listen and we ask for feedback and we act on that feedback? Are we going to create an environment to where when we say something, we're going to do it? Like those to me are things that lead to that positive culture and things like that. But sometimes I think we miss all those little incremental things and really engaging the people that are going to be a part of it. And it's me going, Adam, we're creating a positive culture. I need you to be a part of it. And if you're not, then you're not a team player. Like that's where I struggle. So I don't know.
I like it. So Justin,
I think this
goals says goals can vary in definition and intent. We often build a goal by trying to accomplish something tangible. My goal is to get my CM Lean certification. Hey, bro, I know like a few awesome CM Lean instructors. Tangible, structured, defined the same way for all who achieve it. My goal is to create a more respectable, reliable, and efficient construction process. Not tangible, takes learning, research, small implementations over time to see the long-term gains. No end result, but it can always be improved. Should we categorize goals as tangible? Ooh, that's a good question. We were talking about that earlier, right? About like maybe part of my heartache. I don't know if y'all know this, but like I'm a little bit sensitive sometimes. And when people ask me about my goals, like my goal is to introduce people to the promise they're intended to be. And some people are like, wow, that's awesome. They recognize how amazing and special I am. But some people are like, well, that's not a SMART goal. It's not specific, measurable, attainable. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, sure it is, right? And we could have that argument. But so to Justin's question, right? If a goal isn't tangible, is it a goal? Right? I'm wondering what the Omniverse thinks out there. We got some insight already. Terry, what's going on, Terry? It's gap versus game, right? So what's the goal? Close the freaking gap. What happens when you close the gap? You have gains. Mr. Joseph, boom, Gonzalez.
Hello.
Joseph, welcome, man. Thank you for coming and contributing. Just prep your mind to perform daily. Right? Like that, for me, that I get down with that. It's a daily thing. What am I going to do so that I can show up and show up and show out? Look, he's got another good one. Get up, get going, get it done, baby, from Miami.
I love that. The 3 G's. Heck yeah.
Hey, Joseph, heads up, man. You just need to know that Adam's going to steal that and claim it as
claim it.
Hashtag 3 G's.
Okay,
Yep.
so can we please just right now, Joseph, we haven't seen on here and he hasn't contributed, but we are so excited you're here. But we also have a lot of people here that probably aren't connected to you. So we want all the people in the tribe to give Joseph some love and connect with him. And Joseph, just be ready, because this group likes to support, likes to shine a light on people. And also, again, it's a snowball effect. So welcome and thank you for adding to the conversation this morning.
Boom. Look, here's Andrew. Andrew.
Good morning.
Hit him up, y'all.
Yes, hit him up.
What's
Y'all
up,
better
man?
watch out. Avalanche is coming.
Yes. Y'all make sure to reach out and connect to those people. Oh my gosh.
I love it. Thank you all, man. This is exciting. Okay, where were we, Jen, before you got us off track?
Well, it's the incremental things, which I like, because I like that Terry said gap versus gain, because I think he says versus. I think they're two. I think we have the gap where we're trying to bridge it. That could be absolutely a goal. Because when someone asks me, like, what is my overarching purpose, mine is to bridge the gap between people and processes. Because I think we sometimes focus on, some people are here and some people are here. We need them both, but they're not separate. And so we have to make sure we're bridging that gap to where we know the people help drive the processes and the process help us with outcomes. So it's like there's a lot there, and I think we don't bridge that gap. So that's my overarching purpose. But with that gap versus gain, the gap is important, but those gains are what get us there.
Yes.
So I think that's a huge piece of kind of some of the things we're talking about, those incremental gains, or those incremental, whether they're milestones. I think we hit milestones earlier today, and it was like what is a milestone versus a goal? And maybe Jesse, you can dig into that a little bit, because we work, the three of us and a lot of our tribe members work in construction.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the end goal or the completion date or milestones, like, how does that play into the goal conversation?
That's exactly what Mr. Justin Uyar just said right here. When you take a project and the goal is certificate of occupancy, but we have all those little steps that make it satisfying, right? That we know we're on track for the goal. So I love where you're headed, Miss Jen.
Yeah, I don't see, again, this is the rub, man. And so a couple of things, two big rocks on this point. One is that certificate of occupancy. There are punitive consequences associated with not achieving that at the committed time. Like real financial consequences, loss of reputation, loss of credibility. Like there's a lot. And well, I'm going to leave it there. So is it a goal, right? Like celebrating, I finished the project. We finished it on budget and on schedule. Why are you celebrating, bro? That's your freaking job.
You signed the contract.
Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I know how hard that is, but it's a requirement. How is it a goal? Like that's part of my struggle. Now, the other part, to your point that you were making, Jen, and Adam, you brought up, it's like the little things. And so not the little things, or I mean, maybe even Justin said it too. There's the process steps, the inputs that are going to drive the outcome. So if I want to lose weight, if my goal is to get to 180 pounds, and this is what I see a lot of leaders do, is, okay, the goal is 180 pounds. Let's go stand on the scale. Still 100. You're still at 190. Let's stand on the scale again. And all they do is stand on the scale 1,000 times.
All they do is measure.
That doesn't help you achieve that outcome. What helps us achieve the outcome, break it into two branches. One is, what are the inputs? In order for me to get to 180 pounds, I need to make adjustments on my nutrition, on my sleep, and on my exercise. Period. Standing on the scale does not help me achieve the goal.
Well, I even heard you say at one time, Jesse, you would stand on the scale naked before breakfast, not have drink. Like you would trick the scale to make it think there's show. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so y'all know,
goals, right?
If you tippy toe, you don't lose any weight. It measures all of it. I tried everything. Like I was, okay, this ain't working. I need to go like do something different. So that's one thing, right? Like the goal, this outcome that I'm seeking is this. Going back and measuring and looking at the dashboard a million times doesn't help me achieve that. Adjusting the inputs is going to help me reach the outcome. Now, the other part with goals is what do I need to, or what will I sacrifice? Because this goal in Jesse Land is a new thing. It is something that I am introducing to my workflow, to my state of being. And because I'm introducing a new thing and the number of hours that I can stay awake are finite, something's got to go. Something has to be sacrificed. And again, when we're talking about goals, it's like, I want to live my purpose. Okay, like I get that, and I'm down with that. But what are the inputs and what are the sacrifices? Maybe that's the simplest way to think about it. I don't know. Am I like just way off on this, y'all? Am I alone on this thinking?
I don't think so. Justin's got an awesome question here for you. Are you saying only you can create goals for yourself, or can others create goals for you, Jesse?
Ooh, that's why are you picking on me, Justin? No,
yes, do it.
So maybe that's where the delineation is, right? Like, you know what? I think you're onto something, Justin. Because when somebody has secured a commitment from me, I don't see that as a goal. I see that as a commitment that I need to deliver on. But when
like
I make my
job.
What's that?
It's like finishing a job.
Like finishing a job.
I agreed to it. Yeah.
I agreed to do the damn thing. So now I gotta fulfill my commitment. A goal is something I assign to myself. You know what, dude? Yeah. Yeah.
What do you call commitments that you don't fulfill, Jesse?
Failures.
Okay.
Right? Like if I make a commitment and don't fulfill it, it's a failure. Now, let me get clearer on that. Let's say I make a commitment, right? So now let's talk about commitments. What's important? What do we need to know in order for it to qualify as a commitment? We need to know the action. We need to know the owner. We need to know by when, right? Like if you don't have those three things, there's no commitment. If I committed to getting you the agenda like I always do and the calendar invite 9 days before the event, and I don't get it to you till the morning of, I failed to fulfill my commitment. Right now, the outcome, we were able to achieve the outcome because we're all here. I knew before 9 days ago that I wasn't going to be able to give it to you in that time frame. And so for me to come and inform you guys, hey, I'm not going to get the invite out till the morning of, I renegotiated on the commitment, but I still failed to meet the original commitment. So again, the failure it's just a failure. It's like a neutral thing in my head.
Okay, I have a question, and it's really to both of you, but it's to everyone that's on too. Is as you were talking, Jesse, you make a commitment, and we use construction as we stand at our weekly work plan. We make commitments for the week. We say how many people are going to be there, what work we're going to get done, but we also have a constraint board. So how does are constraints failures? And a lot of times some of us look at them as they're all future things. Some people go, this didn't happen. So how does constraints play into the failure piece of a commitment? Because I feel like that we're talking about goals versus commitments, but I think as you're diving into commitments specifically, and that if you make a commitment and you don't accomplish it, you said it's a failure, but there are also going to be constraints that maybe you didn't have control over.
Exactly what Hal's saying. What about just life interruptions, Jesse? Constraints, roadblocks.
Right? Yeah, I'm not against them. They happen.
But it's still a failure, you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, so when I think about failure, I mean, let's think about continuous improvement, right? Or A3 problem solving, or I should say fact-based problem solving. And there's the outcome that we're achieving is not what we want, right? The system is producing exactly what it's designed to do. And that outcome is not meeting whatever it is we want. So now I got to go evaluate the system. And within the system, there's going to be failure points, right? A break in the system. It's a failure point. And
I got news for you, Jesse. You are not a popular person in the chat right now, my man. I'm just gonna break it to you right now. I mean, unforeseen conditions are not failures, says Miss Yesenia. What do you have to say to that, Jess?
okay,
That's it.
that's it. I mean, I'm not arguing. What I'm explaining is where the way I see it, right? Because if there's a break in the system, in my head, that's an opportunity to redesign the system, right? So take that failure out and continue forward. Unforeseen conditions, yeah, they suck, but there's a break in the system. Now, if I zoom out, like I'm thinking workspace, if I zoom out, like in like just being a human being, those unforeseen conditions, they suck, like, and they're usually really bad. But it still impacts me delivering on my commitment. So for me, it's still a failure, but I don't use the word, I don't apply a punitive connotation to the word failure. For me, it's a
whole other conversation.
I failed. Own it. What am I going to do about it? That's it. Quitting, now that's a whole other thing for me. But so y'all are picking on me, and I love it. I love the attention. But let's give some love to some folks out there. Mr. Bruce.
Hello.
Do we need to swarm Bruce? Because I don't
think I've seen Bruce. You could have been on. We just haven't seen you in a while. But I'm just gonna say, tribe, give him some love, connect with him, Bruce. Just be ready, because our tribe likes to bring people into the fold. So, Bruce, thank you for showing up. Thank you for contributing. And if all of our people can jump on and connect with him and let him know that we are happy he's here.
Yeah, what up, Bruce? So Bruce says, I often put too much in the goal bucket, and this is important, right? So like, let's talk about broader and everybody else. I mean, I know everybody really wants to learn more about me, but you know, we got that emotional bungee jumper thing where you could get a bigger bite out of Jesse, baby. So Bruce says, I often put too much in the goal bucket, and it becomes too heavy after a while, and too much, it gets dropped. This year, I'm using the 1% better idea, small J's, baby, to see if more gets accomplished. I am in full support of that. And then I saw Ian had a good one. Ian says, honestly, does it really matter whatever the word goals? The thought of a personal continuous improvement is what is at the source. Gangsta, what do you think about that, y'all?
Well, I love that, just because, and whether it's the word goals, Jesse and I had this whole conversation about 2023 and resolutions, and I know Steve Martin, I'm sure, has something to contribute to that. But like, what are your goals for 2023? What is your word? What are you trying to accomplish? Like all of those things, the new year always starts those conversations, and it like brings so much anxiety to me, because as I thought about last year, and I thought about the things that I was able to accomplish and the things that I felt most proud of at the end of 2022, like 90% of those things weren't even in my head in January. Like I couldn't even have imagined them. And so like when I think of the year, it brought anxiety. So I was talking to Jesse about the way I approach it is, what is my focus for January? And what drove my focus for January was another one of those things that I can say it was a failure. I can say that, you know, I'm not doing a very good job, but a big overarching goal is to be a good mom. And, you know, my girls are super important to me. And every day I'm reminded of things that I need to improve upon. And the end of December, it was one night, and Alex, my 11-year-old, came in and she says, Mom, I got to ask you something. I said, okay. She says, she hands me this piece of paper, and I'm going to say it was like a piece of paper like this. She said, so you see this? I said, yeah. She said, I'm going to put it right here. She says, I want to tell you something, and I need you not to talk until I push the button on this paper, letting you know I'm done. And I mean, and she's like, do you understand? I was like, I do understand. And so she pitched this idea, and then I'm sitting there and I'm listening. And then she keeps telling, and then finally she pushes the button. She goes, now you can talk. And so then I asked questions and I, inquired and I asked some more things. And then she goes, "Are you done speaking?" And I'm like, "I think so." She's like, "Well, can you push the button so then I can respond?" Like, this is my 11-year-old that at the point of when we finish this conversation, I realize I don't let her finish when she asks me something. I make lots of assumptions. And she was trying to come into the conversation to help me get better, but also to help get what she wanted. And that conversation helped me realize I need to do a better job of listening, whether it's an overarching goal, whether it's I need to focus on this right now. And then at the end of January, how did I do? Can I do better? Is there something else that I can do for February? But to me, like, it's not a goal to be able to be a better listener, because that should just be something that I'm doing anyway. But my goal to be a good mom, my goal to help her be a better human being as she grows up. Like, I feel like there's so many of those little things that happen throughout the process, and we get so caught up on, but what's the goal? What's the goal? And I think that's part of my hiccup with it, is just just I don't want to not trying to worry about at the end being the best listener in the world and her being the best human being at 11, but if these little incremental conversations and buttons that I have to push to be able to have a conversation and let her know that I care about what she says, like, to me, those are wins.
You let Miss Alex know that Brittany Hoots would definitely invest in one of those little buttons. You should probably retire and make a fortune off of those buttons. Holy moly. How genius is that, huh?
Genius.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. That's amazing, Miss Jen. Thank you for sharing that.
Again, but I'm going to say I fail as a mom sometimes because I make assumptions because I'm, whatever. And she just put it right in front of me. Like that mirror, I could not have run away from it.
Well, and Jen, I often hear you talk about the rocks. Like, you have these rocks, and I see Joe commented on the Vision Traction Organizer, or VTO. And I just want him to know, like, that's one of the best parts about being affiliated with the Lean Builder, is getting to follow the way that they project goals and their vision for the future. Are you a fan of VTO? Have you read the book Traction? What are your thoughts on that, real quick, Miss Jen? Because you operate.
I haven't. Ironically, though, I haven't read the book because the only reason I know about all of that terminology is my meetings with Keon and Keon and Joe. Again, they're the stuff they do and how they plan things out. When I meet with Keon, because he's one of my mentors, like, that's the way we talk. And so that's kind of been something that intentionally or not, I have taken. And now I have another book I can add to my list, but that's just the way they work. And it's helped me look at things differently.
Yeah. I mean, I use it quite a bit. That's a great book. Jesse, have you read the book Traction?
I have not read the book. I may make it a goal. No, actually, I've heard a bunch about it. I'm interested in reading it. And I'm also, how should I say, not too vested in what I'm going to get out of it. Because here's another one. Before I go there, let's just show you how popular my thinking is. Steve Martin says, Chief Marketeer, completely agrees with your mindset. He completely agrees. He landed on setting goals, not goals. And the goal to hitting any target is to get better. Hashtag better. When the goal is continuously to get better, you learn and discover ways to hit more targets, even during those unforeseen conditions.
Nice.
We should probably give Bruce some love too, where he says, the renegotiate commitment is not necessarily a failure, given unforeseen circumstances. You're not as popular as you make it sound there, Jess.
You know what? In Jesse land, I'm a freaking genius. Like, I got it going on.
But that's the picking and choosing, which I think played into some of our conversations we've had earlier, and going back to when we have a goal of finishing the project, when we have a schedule that there are commitments in there, who created them? And it goes back to, the question we got early on is, do I set goals for you, Jesse? Do I set goals for Adam? Do I set them for myself? And if someone is I know you said this earlier, you shouldn't should people. You can't say you should do this, because then who owns that? And I think that plays into some of these conversations.
Yeah, that I stole that from Angel. I'm not like my homie Adam here that I'm just gonna take credit for stuff. But you
R&B.
shouldn't should on people, and like you gotta secure commitments. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna argue because I know that I've known for a long time that my thinking is over there,
Mine too.
way over there, and I'm okay with that. What I will say is, Justin and everyone else, thank you, because the question, the rub that I had with this whole concept was like, Justin, the question you asked helped me clarify it 100%. And I don't know if you were asking, like, if there was intent behind your question, but I will say, even the way you typed it, I did not get any sense of solutionizing or being led, right? Like, I felt like an open question.
His question game is tight.
He's got it, huh?
Oh my goodness.
And so I understand now what my rub has been with the thing, where in Jesse Land, I make my goals. All the other stuff that other people ask, request, impose, whatever, like that's work. That's commitments. My goals are my goals. Now, another thing is when I set like goals, like the conventional goals, they usually end up becoming smaller. Like achieving them is a small thing. And when I say small, I'm talking about in terms of contribution, in terms of serving others, in terms of sharing my gifts and talents with the world. No BS with Jen and Jess was not a goal. Writing a book, The Lean in Love, was not a goal, right? Like those things happened as a result of me staying on the path to becoming the promise I'm intended to be. So there's also that, right? Like it's kind of awesome. I'm Jesse and I'm done speaking.
Dude, the chat right now, Jesse, is blowing up, man. It's all over the place. But
Okay.
talking about, so back to the book Traction. Like I would like to challenge you to read that, and I'll even read it with you if you want to do a study action team. Miss Jen,
I
would
don't have
love to
time.
get you in. Huh?
I don't have the time for that.
Yeah, you do. We'll make the
Oh,
time.
no, no. Let me be clear. I'm not going to make the time for that
Why not?
because I'm not.
Why?
You know how
Man,
long
it's
it
all
takes?
about running a business. It's about the employee
Because I'm not
operation.
prepared to make a sacrifice anything to have a study action team on that book.
We're going to talk about it. We're
Tuesday morning. Okay, we'll push that off to Tuesday morning. Next.
Tuesday and Friday. You got plenty of time.
What else? Chat. I know chat's blowing up. Can we bring some of
Yes.
those amazing comments on the screen?
Everybody's talking about how awesome that book is. You got Miss Leslie talking about the growth mindset, winning all of the time. You've got Justin Uyar chiming back in about the mindset.
Okay, look, stay there. Stay on this one, like right now, because I like that concept of mindset because that came up in our conversation before the show this morning on my struggle and the way my brain works. And I just know how my brain works, and it's a little bit different sometimes than most people. And like my ideas and what I want to do sometimes, I hate to say this, are a little bit bigger and a little bit colorful and a little bit out there. And people sometimes struggle wrapping their head around them. So if I can go, my goal is this, they're going to look and go, Jennifer, slow down. That's a lot. We're not there yet. And so, I know that, like I know. And so I've had to, because of the way my mind works, I've had to recognize what, and I think it goes back to what Jesse said, what are my goals? What are things that I can accomplish and that I have control over? And then what are things that based on my space that I'm in, my workspace, my, this platform, social media, things like that. What are things there that I can then control or I can influence, things like that. And because of that mindset and understanding the difference in these different platforms and arenas, like I've had to adjust, how do I show up here? How do I show up here? And it's the same person, but you can be a lot for someone. And you can be a lot, and it's outside of their realm of where they are. It doesn't mean it can't be a goal, and it doesn't mean it needs to stop you. You just have to really take inventory into what's around you and the people that are there. And for me, it's that self-reflection on, am I putting that on someone else? And now I'm telling them that's something they should be doing, or that's a goal they should have, or, like if am I doing that versus here's what I'm going to do to help support you. And for me, that's the differentiator for me into how I can say, okay, that's my goal. That's the thing I'm committing to. And I see so much of that out there when we try to cover it up with pretty, hey, we're in a room and we got sticky notes and we want to know what you have to say. But when we leave here, here's the commitments that I'm telling you need to make.
I love it. Chat's blowing up, Miss Jen. Yes, 100%. I'm also selling some buttons here. Look at this. Everybody wants to buy these.
Does Alex get some royalties on that?
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, yes. Yes. Chess clock principle. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, got it.
Yep.
Yep. Oh man. This is an awesome conversation. And I'm like, y'all go talk. I'm gonna go jump in the chat. But that'll be cheating. I think I wanna read some of the stuff that people are throwing in there. Because
yes.
I think, again, just want to be clear. I'm not trying to content. Look, Manny, what's up? You remember Manny, Adam?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, I do. Manny was Sparky's electrician or something like that.
Yeah, he was role playing. Yeah. I love Manny. I agree with all of y'all. Like your perspective, folks out there in the Omniverse, like I'm down with what you're saying. I'm not against it at all. I needed some clarity, and Justin has gifted me with that clarity. And I think my goal for this conversation is that we all have a deeper conversation, because having these little tidbits and nuggets like the VTO thing, like I'm sure when I read it independently by myself,
it's not allowed, that
I will find some things in there that I will take and connect to my mode of operation.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the tribe and with the freaking chat blowing up the way it's blowing up, there's tons of different perspective, opposing views, maybe not opposing, whatever. But at the end, we can all walk away with a richer, deeper understanding that we can apply to ourselves and go out there and rock the freaking world, man. Like that's the goal.
Just like our philosophy. That's what Jesse and I do, is we take, like, just be ready. All this chat and this conversation, it could end up in a book somewhere. I'm just saying.
Yes. The first book.
The first book. Oh yeah. That one's in process.
Comes equipped.
I want to share some of the wisdom from our tribe members.
Okay.
Bradley says, I'm guessing this is a goal. He'll positively impact not just those folks around me, but those above me as well. I'll figure out a way not to be questioned, doubted, or ostracized by my compulsion to make things better. Oh man, yeah, for real. Whether it's difficult, disheartening, diverse, or just plain doable, day one is always today. Bam, you're never done.
Yes.
Here we go. Here's another one. This one's for you, Adam. Thomas LeMay, which, by the way, we just this week released the collabo session number 6 on the goal, and there's one more coming out, baby. Freaking Thomas gets me fired up. Like, yeah. So culture is what happens when there is conflict. I really like that.
What do you think about that, Adam?
I think the word is should be replaced with mindset.
No, goal.
No, mindset.
It's goal now.
No, we settled on mindset. You got to stick with the chat, man. This thing's so it's developed from Leslie to Justin, and now I like Yesenia's goal. Just rock the world.
Bam! That's what I'm talking about. Oh man, let's see. Here's some other wisdom, because for real, like, y'all, thank you for all the comments. But here's some real stuff, right? Like Vincent says, in today's world, work-life balance is important. Taking 3 to 4 days off, that's for me, for yourself, will help you decompress and recharge. Amen. So maybe add that, or find a way to make the sacrifices in your normal operation to make that happen, because it's shit. If I could, I mean, damn, if I could do it, anybody could do it.
But I like those small, like I like, anyway, that's a goal, a focus, whatever, a commitment. I like the small ones just because I'm going to tell you from my perspective and just conversations I've had with you, Jesse, that when we have those small commitments and we maybe get off course a little bit, it's not as like detrimental to I failed. I made a commitment and I made a goal and I didn't reach it. And I am less than. And I know those are a lot of conversations that I have with people that I didn't reach it because, this is the parameters I put around it versus what are those small commitments? What are those things I want to do every day? What are those things I want to do monthly? Then when you do get to, you kind of fall off course. Okay, what do I need to do to adjust and get back on course?
Yes. You give your, I can't remember who it was that talked about making the goal bucket so big that it becomes overwhelming. Give yourself grace.
Yes.
Like, whatever those goals are. And Adam, you've pointed this out, like you can adjust the goal. And again, I'm down with that now because Justin helped me understand. And my conflict was the goal that I give myself, the targets and challenges that I place on me. Those are goals. And I can absolutely change the target. The commitments, that's a little different. I can change that. I can ask for permission to change it, but that's a whole different thing. Here's a beautiful one. Bruce says, circumstances do not make the man. They reveal him to himself. Woo, baby.
It's a mirror. I'm telling you, circumstances are sometimes the mirror that you need to kind of go, oh crap. Like, okay, what do I need to do?
So here's one. Here you go. What are the new goals? Bruce, man, Bruce, come on, bro.
Oh, dang.
You see us struggling with this word here. What are the new goals you have for the show in 2023? Adam?
Yeah, Jesse, what are your new goals? I knew that. Shing, shing. What a great question for Jesse, Bruce.
You are not frozen. I can see your fingers moving.
Here's what I've seen, and I think this aligns with Steve Martin's post that he made earlier in the year, or maybe at the end, anyways, earlier this month, or maybe at the end of last month, is there's this thing that I do, maybe, and this contributes to the idea of the bigger bucket getting too heavy. And Steve Martin has said this in the past, like, smaller cups, right? How do you fill your cup? Get a smaller cup. It's easier to fill. And he also posted about resolution. Mm-hmm. And so I have a habit of setting a new target, right? Working to achieve something. And then I hit it. And then I elevate it. Which, because that leads to burnout for me, depending on what it is. It can lead to burnout. Historically, it has led to burnout. So another practice is, okay, I hit it. Now let's do it again. Prove that we can repeat and deliver the same depth of value before making a big reach. And so that may be easy, but for me, in terms of goals for NoBS with Jen and Jess for 2023 is to do it again. Like we've discovered this, there you go, rock the world. We've discovered this space, this community, this group of amazing people where we can have some conflicting conversations, conflicting opinions, where we can connect deeply, where we can open up more, where we can share tears with each other, where we can get motivated to step out and try something that's terrifying and intimidating, things that we've never done before, go become a damn professor. Like, let's do that again. That's my goal. What about you or you two? I'll let y'all fight over who speaks next.
Well, I'll go next because Adam will just deflect to me anyway. So I'll just go next. So my goal for this year is similar to yours, Jesse. It's continue doing what we're doing, but what's happened in the last month, I'm going to say it's the month, is Bradley showed up. And I'm going to call you out, Bradley, because Bradley, you showed up and you like just jumped in and you started, engaging and you started connecting, but some of the things you said in that very first live stream was, I didn't know y'all were here. I didn't know y'all existed. I've needed y'all. And I was suffering and I was in a place that I was not okay. And like so many more people need this. And I'm so glad I found you. I'm paraphrasing, but those are things you said. And to me, that's why we show up. And that's why right now we have no idea what we're going to talk about in 2 weeks. And that's okay, because all of these conversations and even things in between are what drive those topics. And we don't, like Jesse, I talked to Jesse this morning and I said, a year ago, like we were launching NoBS a year ago, this Saturday. And it was, okay, we're going to do 5S, A3 thinking. We're going to do PDCA. We're going to do these things. And we're going to make sure we because we just got off of the 5S with, lean and love stuff. And we're like, okay, how do we connect and blah, 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 blah. Like all this, we had all these ideas coming into January, the first live stream, and they all were scrapped. And we've seen Disney movies. We've talked about impact. We've talked about the person that influences you the most in your life. Like so many of those things none of those were conversations in January. None of them. And so it's like, to me, it's continually showing up, like Jesse said, continually showing up and having people, Bradley, you're my example today, that said, I don't know where you were. And I don't know how I found you. Steve Martin has said it too. He just stumbled upon us one Saturday morning. But I am so glad you're here. And that's my goal. If we can continue to do that and have people show up and say things like that, then to me, we are killing it.
Word.
Okay, Adam.
You're up.
It didn't work that way. No.
Negative.
What was the question? I got lost after that amazing.
What's NoBS goal? That's NoBS's goal for 2023.
What's NoBS's goal for 2023? I think it's to just continue to, I like what Jesse said. Continue to do this. Continue to show up for one another. Continue to have each other's back. I really like the idea of the emotional bungee jumpers. I did have a little bit of a preview to that last year where we went through, and I tell you what, my question game improved tremendously as a result of that group. And so I'm super grateful there. I would love to see that take off. I think just, continuing to do this and be a tribe, be one, be together, introducing the personal side of the world to the construction industry, because we have for too long just neglected that. And so I just love being a part of this community and having the ability to do that and show up for everybody that's here. So I do have a suggestion for you though, Jess. People should be able to get a NoBS jersey and one of those button things that we talked about as a result of joining the emotional bungee jumpers.
Oh, that's an idea.
Because Steve Martin wants a jersey.
Steve wants a jersey. All right, well, let's chew on that. So here's a goal. And Yesenia texted me to clarify what she meant by this. So what she means is this is a call out, a request, an invitation to all the tribe members to help the NoBS tribe get to 2,023 followers by December 31st. Did I get that right, Yesenia? I think like word for word, I just said what you asked.
She also says you're not going to be able to meet her in real life until you read the book Traction. That's what I get out of that comment.
I like it. I like it. It's all good stuff. I'm going to read something Hal threw in here. I think we're on the same page. Start desired with outcomes. Then set short-term goals that move you along the way toward the outcome. And remember, put practices in place that become habits that will keep you on the path to keep making and achieving your intermediate goals. And I feel like those words kind of summarize and sew everything that we've been wrestling with, sew it all together, right? It makes it pretty clear and pretty simple. Thank you, Hal. You're awesome. There was another one I wanted to.
He also says he's grateful that we keep showing up. That's a pretty awesome comment from Mr. Maycomb.
It is that SRRR cycle, right? Show up, receive, reflect, reciprocate. And like that is at the core of what we've been doing. And it's been pretty damn massive. Another thought, Joseph, thank you, man, for joining us. Goals requires massive action and execution. I like the action part.
Action.
So I posted the link to the after party that I was creating. Thank you, Adam, for being up on stage with us. The after party, it's the LinkedIn audio thing here in about 10 minutes, because we're going to be wrapping up in 5. We'll be having the after party so we can hear each other's voices. If you haven't been on the after party before, come on. For folks that have been there before, I'm looking forward to hearing your 2023 voice and having some more conversation. Ian, I'm totally expecting you to tell me like, Jesse, let it go. Just go make stuff happen. Man, what's wrong with me today? So anyways, I posted the link on the YouTube, on the Facebook, and on the LinkedIn. And so click the link and you'll come to the thing, and then we could hear each other. It has some weird, I don't know what it looks like on the other side, because, you know, I'm responsible for creating all of these awesome experiences. But there's a thing, like if you haven't been on the audio thing before, you got to click like raise your hand or something so that I can bring you up on the stage to speak. I don't know what it looks like, but just giving you a heads up if it's going to be your first time, because I know one of y'all's goals was to try new things in 2023. Let this be it, baby. So we can connect with more people. Anyway, sorry, that's it. Ooh, that's all I had to say.
So we have like 4 minutes. And so can we bring I know we have some comments that are I know Thomas had one, Leslie had one, but can we bring those up and then kind of go around and last thoughts before we wrap?
There you go, Miss Jen. I don't know what it is, but if Thomas said it, it's got to be red, baby.
I agree.
What is it?
He says every system has a limiting factor or constraint. Focusing improvement efforts to exploit constraints is the fastest and most effective way to reach any goal. Therefore, any goal that doesn't include improving a weakness, you likely will never reach.
Ooh. So weakness like failure points? I agree.
Or weakness like life happens? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, next comment, Adam. Aren't you working on something with some caps or something?
I am. I'll tell you what. We got this whole I got these cool NoBS coffee mugs as well. They come with the shh button on them, where you can actually shh people with just the button. It doesn't work on Jen though. I don't understand. It doesn't work. Oh, we must have to get Alex's button for that.
Oh man, that's a good idea though. The NoBS baseball caps.
Ooh,
yeah,
a little green and blue.
Yes, thank you, LinkedIn user. All right, 2 minutes. Adam, closing thought.
Goals don't have to be this overarching thing that we only count when we either make or fail, right? It doesn't have to be the end zone. Goals can be just get 3 yards of play.
Ooh, nice. Come on, Jen, what you got?
All this conversation is like blowing up my heart right now. And so I just want everybody to take away from these conversations 2 big things. Number one is it's yours. Like, don't let someone else's idea or what they define as goals or focuses or what's important to like bleed into what's important to you. That it's yours, and own it and let it be yours. And so 2 examples. Number one is gave Bradley some love today because he is just my person right now because of everything he's done and really gotten vulnerable. And he did allergies. He put that in the comment. And I think that just shows the group and who we are and how people are showing up. and that we are real and we are vulnerable, and we like there are things that are happening in our lives and we don't have to hide behind those anymore. We can really kind of embrace those and realize there's people around us that are going to link arms and help us get there. And so there's that. And then two, it's ours. And so Ian posed this yesterday on the pop-up. What was our favorite Christmas gift? And so that was, he posed that. And so I want to share my favorite Christmas gift that I got. So it is a handmade bowl that Alex made in art class. And that was my Christmas gift from her. And that to me was the most amazing thing, because one, she made it. Two, she was so super worried about how I'd respond to it. And I just think it's really cool and cute. And it wasn't what she planned at the beginning, but that was what she gave me because she was so super proud of it. And my heart exploded. And so, because this is what the most important thing is to me. It doesn't matter what Jesse thinks. It doesn't matter what Adam thinks. This is what's important to me. And we've got to make sure when we're going into our goals and our things that are important, that we have to start with ourselves and what's important to me, not I'm doing this for someone else. That's all.
Word. So my closing thought, I guess I have a question for Yesenia. Like, I think Adam and Jen convoluted our conversation. So I just want to ask you, like, if you would post whether you agree with me or not. That's one thing. The other thing is Team Fishnet, baby. Like, y'all know it's coming. It's going to grow. Oh, look, there's Yesenia. So Yesenia saying, yes.
For the record, that comment was like 4 minutes ago.
She's saying she completely agrees with me.
At 10:09 a.m.
Thank you, girl. Appreciate that. We're going to log off because we got to get ready for the after party.
Yes, log on. Click the link. Click the link. Click it.
Yeah, click the link. Click right now.
Clickety, clickety, click, click, click.